Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Has anyone ever said the guy you're on with right now looks like Jason Sudeikis?
First time.
Only every day that ends in Y. Nice to hear from Ashley. Moose, you going to stick around for the next segment?
Of course. I'll be here.
It's getting fun. It's getting spicy. Austin, Texas of the North, a viewer on YouTube, says Gary Thorne. Gary Thorne probably is going on my Mount Rushmore. He would be the American on my Mount Rushmore.
Gary Thorne and Bill Clement, right? And they all do the games together on the video game, and I loved those. That was iconic.
Studs.
Yeah.
Studs.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say from Gary? For Bill Clement, this is Gary Thorne. Good night from Medicine Hat.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Okay, wait. Am I out to lunch, or did we have Bill Clement on this show way back in the early days?
No, we've never had Bill Clement, no.
Well, we need to.
Patrolman Pete says, I always thought Kurt Kilbeck for the Jets and Coyotes was amazing. And he was beloved in Winnipeg, but he kept getting fired. So who the hell knows what's going on there? Hey, it happens to the best of us. But I didn't hear enough of Kurt Kilbeck to put him on my Mount Rushmore. So as we sit here today, I got it. Rod Phillips, Peter Maher, Chris Cuthbert, Gary Thorne. Bob's your uncle.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
From the Canadian Football League, the Edmonton Elks. At what point do we start to look up at Edmonton and go, what are they doing up there? Running players out of town, losers of 3 in a row. Somebody said, Rod, what's your thoughts on Travis Hamonic not getting vaccinated? I don't care anymore.
Out of the bunker, into the sunshine. On the road with the Rod Pedersen Show.
We are, and happy Friday, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. It's another remote broadcast. We are coming to you from Beaucampers Sports Bar and Grill in, well, what is normally sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's been very cloudy all morning here on a Dolphins home game weekend, a Florida Panthers game night. The Dallas Stars are in town. We're ready to talk football for Flame Tech for the next 2 hours. And I was just saying to the Moose, if we can get him on the screen here, Moose DuPont, that live television, man, there's just nothing like it. It really prepares you for life. Just before we went to air, they started to raise the screens, the shades up behind me here. I got that taken care of, Moose. And then we find out that I got the shades put down, but then I find out that our first hour guest, Justin Dunk's flight is delayed coming in to the Rectangle from Southern Ontario as he's coming in to call football this weekend with you. So it looks like it's going to be you and me rocking it in hour one. Eddie Steele will be with us in hour two, the 9-year CFLer, Grey Cup champion, and now Edmonton Elks analyst will be with us for a great football chat. But listen, here on the warm-up for Ecole Electric, as everybody knows, the Quick Six Show topics isn't entirely limited to football, even though it's Flame Tech Football Friday. And we'll get to those in a moment. But I got to tell you, I started last night Ted Lasso.
You did.
Listen, I don't necessarily need a lesson in positivity. That guy, I feel like they split you and me and made a character into him. Looks like what? You, sounds like me.
Right. No, it's striking how it's like little a column A, little a column B, right? I kind of got that too.
Yeah, well, biscuits with the boss. How about me bringing you coffee in for like the last year and sitting on the curb out front of the studio? The biscuits with the boss. I came up with that, not Ted Lasso. What are you talking about? So anyways, burn through the first three, and I can kind of see where this is going, Ted Lasso. So thank you. Very much enjoying that Apple TV special. Okay, can we get going with a Quick Six show horn, please, Director Jordan? And I also have the comments ready to roll, like from the viewers. I got everything going today. I'm super ultra prepared. And bear with me because I'm going to fly through these. Topic 1, Thursday Night Football Moose. Joe Burrow spoiled Urban Meyer's return to Ohio and kept his former college coach winless on an NFL sideline. Burrow engineered 4 second-half scoring drives while passing for 348 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Bengals overcame a 14-0 deficit to beat Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-21 on Thursday Night Football. Evan McPherson won it with a 35-yard field goal as time ran out, culminating a 10-play, 73-yard drive that consumed the last 5.5 minutes. By the way, they open at Beaucampers at noon Eastern for lunch. All of a sudden, it's just got crazy in here, so bear with me. Obviously, I was sawing logs, as my dad would say, by the time Evan McPherson kicked the game-winning field goal in the game last night. So I'll just say this about the game. I felt like I was watching the future of the NFL with those 2 number 1 picks, Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. How did you feel watching Thursday Night Football last night?
It was awesome. It was really good. And those two are the future. I mean, they both played outstanding. That first half that Trevor Lawrence put together was textbook. I mean, he used his legs, he used his arm. We talked about them needing to get a run game going. James Robinson got that for them, so they took the pressure off. I think they had over 100 yards rushing in the first half. And then they took a frying pan to the face at the end of the first half, and they forgot everything that happened, and the second half was completely different. When Trevor Lawrence got stopped at the goal line on 4th down, right at the end of the half, that changed the entire game. They didn't run the ball in the second half. He wasn't throwing the ball that well in the second half. And Joe Burrow woke up, and he hooked up with Jamar Chase for a couple of 3rd down conversions. They moved up and down the field. The defense played well. But it was a complete tale of 2 halves. You got to see the good from Trevor Lawrence in the first half. You got to see the good from Joe Burrow in the second half. I thought it was a great showcase of football. And probably exactly what you want if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. You want your quarterback to look good. You want your running back to look good. You want everything to look good. But you want to lose and still have a high pick because they're not challenging for any playoff spot this year. So I think things turned out the way they should, but Cincinnati's good.
I didn't really know where you were going with that one. I thought you were going to say your young team and your young head coach had a 14-0 lead near halftime. You had a 17-14 lead on Arizona last week in the 3rd quarter, and you blew it in the 4th, but they're getting better. That's what I thought you meant. The Jaguars are getting better, and I'm very happy with the Cincinnati football fans because they're now 3-1. They've been through the muck, and hopefully the worst is behind them. They're the leaders of the AFC North. Moving ahead, the New York Yankees on point 2 dealt a blow to the Blue Jays' playoff chances while solidifying their own. The Yankees hit 5 home runs in a 6-2 win over the Blue Jays at Rogers Center. New York tightened its grip on the American League wildcard spot. The Jays fell 3 back of the Yankees, but are still just 1 back of Boston for that second wild. The Jays open up a 3-game season-ending set with Baltimore tonight at Rogers Center. Point 3, this has to do with Super Bowl entertainment. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar will perform for the first time on stage together at Super Bowl halftime. It was announced overnight the 5 music icons will hit the stage February 13th at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. 3 of them are Southern California products. I will come back on that, Moose. What are we at here? Point 3. NHL preseason from last night. Over 70% of our viewers say they don't care. We do. So here's what happened. Philip Forsberg and Igor Afetaseyev each scored twice, and the Predators beat the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2 in preseason play. Jeremy Swayman made 16 saves, and Brad Marchand, Craig Smith, Brandon Carlo, and Jake DeBrusk scored for Boston in a 4-2 victory over Philly. Samuel Girard broke a tie with 3:15 to go in Colorado's 6-4 victory over Minnesota. In Detroit, Robbie Fabry scored twice to help the Red Wings beat Buffalo 6-2. In Salt Lake City, Utah, where we're very big, Moose, as you know, Garrett Sparks made 20 saves to help Los Angeles beat Vegas 3-1. And in Anaheim, James Reimer made 24 saves, and Ryan Merkley, Jeffrey Vale, and Kevin LeBlanc scored in San Jose's 3-1 victory over Anaheim. So if you want to know where James Reimer is now, he's with the San Jose Sharks. By the way, the warm-up is brought to you by Ecol Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. Ecol Electric, let's get to work. I saw with a notification, by virtue of a notification, that the Toronto Maple Leafs, two things, like the Leafs, you just can't get away from them. As much as you want to, you can't. So they've extended head coach Sheldon Keefe's contract, I understand, and that documentary aired last night for the first time. Did you see that?
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I did see the two pieces of news. And, you know, the first response on Sheldon Keefe's contract, somebody said, this is what you do. You promote and you reward mediocrity and losing and not meeting expectations with a contract extension. I want that kind of position. But the flip side was, you know, it feels like Kyle Dubas giving Sheldon Keefe a little security blanket that if this year doesn't go well and they both lose their jobs, he's at least got a little 2-year parachute, you know, and he kind of looking out for him a little bit as a person. But I'm not reading much into it at all. I mean, you still got to perform. Doesn't mean that he's there for another 2 years necessarily, but just a little odd.
They're still paying Babcock, right?
I think so. That's why he can work for free at the U of S.
Right. So basically you're saying no big deal that the Toronto Maple Leafs have extended the contract of their head coach, Sheldon Keefe. By the way, I had to do a search on Joe Thornton. I'm like, what am I missing? Because tonight the Florida Panthers are home to the Dallas Stars in NHL preseason play. I'll be there at FALA Live Arena. And Joe Thornton again not playing for the Panthers. This will be their 4th preseason game. And the search that I saw was that Jumbo Joe was dealing with a mild muscle strain late last week. That's what kept him out of the Sunday doubleheader against Nashville. But he's still not playing. And do you think, by the way, for our legions of Florida hockey viewers, of which there are many, they want to know. They're all talking about Joe Thornton. He's not playing again tonight. If you're Joe Quenneville, are you saying at 42, I think, we don't need Joe Thornton in the preseason?
Yeah.
Is there something to that, do you think?
That's what you're saying. No, you're bang on. And if you're Quenneville, you're saying, we don't need to see Joe Thornton. We know what Joe Thornton is. We know what we're getting from Joe Thornton. Like, Joe Thornton has earned the ability to come and go as he pleases. He doesn't have to do two-a-days. He doesn't have to play in the preseason. Joe Thornton is fine. I don't think they're worried about that. Keep those minutes, keep that ice time for somebody who they're trying to get a look at, who's trying to make the American Hockey League team or who's trying to make the National Hockey League team. I think they're okay with it. I think if it's something that, you know, continues to linger and he can't get in at all, or you're starting to worry when the season starts, then there might be a little bit of a concern that Joe's not right. But I think you know what you have in Joe Thornton.
We're warming up for Ecold Electric here on Game Plus Television Network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, including the wonderful state of Florida, where we're carried. Game Plus is on TDS cable. Ask your cable carrier for details if you don't have it. Justin Dunk was scheduled to join us here in hour 1, but his flight's been delayed into the sweatpants capital, so Moose and I will be rolling with all of these topics for a little longer here in hour 1. And it is Flame Tech Football Friday. It's Friday night football. You know, a lot of our viewers are screaming at their screens saying, get to the CFL. Well, tonight it's the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the BC Lions. I have a little preview here. At Vancouver, the 6-1 Blue Bombers come off the bye week, not only sporting the CFL's top record, but riding a 4-game win streak and an impressive 4-0 record within the division. The Bombers lead the league in offensive touchdowns, fewest turnovers, fewest offensive points allowed, and most turnovers forced. The Lions at 4-3 are coming off a 31-24 home loss to Saskatchewan and dropped to 1-3 within the West and are just 1-2 at BC Place, but still have the CFL's passing leader in Michael Riley. The Canadian press is telling us to go with Winnipeg. BetRegal.net's telling us to go with Winnipeg at 1.5-point favorites. How are we feeling about BC and Winnipeg tonight in this matchup, Moose? And if I could just say one more, I love me some Lucky Whitehead. He's Dallas Cowboys alum. He's been on this show a couple of times, but I was a little surprised he was named Player of the Month in the CFL. How many times was he struck by the fumble Ruski 1 week ago tonight with the BC Lions against the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Like,
yeah,
it's at least twice he fumbled, including with the game on the line in the final 20 seconds. I don't really understand how Lucky Whitehead's the Player of the Month, unless he's been that great. And I know that he leads the CFL in receiving, and I think he is the most exciting player in the West Division. But I don't know that I'm giving a guy Player of the Month when he has a tough time holding on to the football in critical situations.
That's a tough one, but he's had a great month. He's a good player. He's having a really good year in BC too. But this game I'm looking forward to because there won't be a crossover with BC or with Winnipeg. So this is a West Division final preview potentially. I mean, the odds will tell you that BC, they're considering BC maybe the second best team in the West right now, even though they're coming off a loss to Saskatchewan. That's how good the BC Lions are this year, and what a turnaround it's been under Mike Riley and what they've been able to do. 1.5 points, it's not a lot. It's razor thin. And BC let that game slip away last week against Saskatchewan. Mistakes, the shank putt at the end that even set Saskatchewan up to have a chance to come down the field and score. BC is going to be digging in a little extra this week. I feel like they've got something to prove. I kind of want to go with the Lions if you're giving me 1.5.
Well, there's usually one upset. Usually there's at least one upset of the CFL, despite the fact there are only 4 games. So maybe tonight's the night. It's a 10 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Winnipeg and BC on Friday Night Football. Let's sprinkle in some of the viewer comments here. They have thoughts on this. Plus, Joe Thornton from the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Red Deer, Alberta. Friday Night Football. Let's go, Lucky and the Lions. Cheering against Winnipeg, obviously. From Adam Ridioff in Hamilton, he says, I would love to see BC get a win, especially after last week's letdown. Watch out for those Ticats, by the way. And probably we'll talk about them next segment. They got Montreal tomorrow in the first of a doubleheader, a Saturday doubleheader in the CFL. Ticats favored by 2.5 at betregal.net. And I was reading the game notes, Moose. The Ticats have not allowed over 20 points. They've held their last 5 opponents to sub 20 points. The defense in Hamilton is not getting enough credit. And I almost wonder if because of the dog's breakfast their offense has been. You know, Devere Posey, that cut him yesterday. They've had the issues on the offensive line. If more attention's been placed on defense and the defensive coordinator, Mark Washington, I just wonder about that. It's not a coincidence that the Ticats are on this remarkable run going into week 9. From Mandy in Edmonton, she says, ooh, Winnipeg and BC, this may be a pre-show for the Grey Cup final game. I don't know if that would happen. Regarding Jumbo Joe, Larry Dies watching in Medicine Hat. He says if Thornton would shave his beard, he could move faster. Well, we know certain NHLers that shave parts of their bodies to skate faster, right, Moose? We know that. We're not going to name who. Are we, Knuckles? Yeah, Manscaped. We're not going to get into that. Jennifer Illingworth, by the way, you see what she's writing? From the Four Seasons, Jennifer says, opening night for the Dub tonight. Woohoo! Well, listen, we love ourselves some major junior hockey. We are North America wide on this show. So I wrote down, this is my last point before we break and come back and break down all of this a little more. The CHL Top 10, okay, going into the year released. And we got time. In a minute, I'll run them down. From 10 to 1. Number 10, the Winnipeg Ice. I could have told you that. I might have had them higher than 10th. From number 9, the Shawinigan Cataract. Number 8, the Windsor Spitfires. Number 7, the Acadie Bathurst Tetone. Number 6, the Portland Winterhawks. Number 5, the Barrie Colts. Number 4, the Kingston Frontenac and Shane Wright. Number 3, the St. John Sea Dogs, who are incidentally the Memorial Cup hosts, are they not? Number 2, the Quebec Rampart and their wonderful head coach and GM, whom I love, Patrick Roy. And the number 1 team in the Canadian Hockey League are the Edmonton Oil Kings, who, by the way, the Arizona Coyotes returned yesterday, Dylan Genther, their best player. So, yes, my team, God's team, the Regina Pats did not crack the top 10. Your team, the Saskatoon Blades, did not either. But we can talk about their opening weekend matchups when we come back and all of these other topics. But we need to take a break right now. This has been the warm-up for Ecole Electric. We got a lot to get through today. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama. I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
And becoming sunnier. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's another day live from Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill here on a Flame Tech Football Friday on the Rod Pedersen Show. Coming at you on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Football Friday, as always, is brought to you by Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. The Moose is with me, and I'm feeling... What should I say, Moose? I'm feeling generous. Let's just bring everybody into the discussion today from all across North America with regards to our discussion here today on this Football Friday. And they want to talk about all kinds of things. That Adam in Hamilton, Adam Ridioff, says, I would love a Ticats-Lions cat fight in the Grey Cup. I would have to go back and think about when's the last time that happened. I'm going to sprinkle in all the comments here. Jenna Reagan in Southern California has entered the chat. Jenna says, good morning from Southern California.
Yeah.
Monty, you know Monty.
Yes.
He writes in from the Bridge City. He says, go, Huskies, go tonight. What do the Huskies got tonight, Moose?
The football team is playing tonight. So there's 2 games in the Canada West tonight, and then ours, they'll be broadcasting tomorrow. So the Huskies, after losing to Calgary, looking to pick up a win tonight.
Gotcha. Thank you. Bill Lothian, writing in from the Deep South, says, TGIF gang, Jays have their backs to the wall. Boy, do they ever. They got to sweep Baltimore and then do a little scoreboard watching this weekend. And if they'd taken care of business against the Yankees, if they'd at least won this series, they'd be in a far better position than they are right now. But that's their own fault. Robbie Ray, Hyun Jin Ryu, both took the loss. These are your studs, man. These are the guys that you need. And they did it with the long ball, giving up the long ball. It's Football Friday. Bill says also, get your vaccines. Don't really want to go down that road either. Although this morning, Moose, I had a call from a football guy who asked about the general manager of the Edmonton Elks, Brock Sunderland, and said, how can you be the general manager of your team and encourage the coaches and players to get a vaccine when you don't? And I said, I hope you're not looking for an argument, an agreement, a discussion. I'm over this. I don't want to talk about it. Do you have a thought on that before I move on?
No, it's the same thing. Again, it's hard to judge somebody until you've walked a mile in their shoes, right? So we don't know if the medical reasons we've heard about. If he's got his reasons, he's got his reasons. It's not a double standard, you know. You got to ask people to do it, and there can be reasons why you're not, and that can be fine too. So everybody just seems like they want to pick a fight. Not here.
Not here. Not on this show. No. Trent Bruner, writing in from Norway, says, Norway calling. The Blue Jays need to win out and hope Boston and Seattle lose. The Riders should rise over the Stampeders. But what happens with Bo Levi? We'll see how the Pats and the Raiders make out tonight in PA. Have a good weekend, everyone. Trent covers it all with one comment from Norway. The poll question today, by the way, came from your noggin. For Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, it is, who's the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the National Football League? Your options are Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams of the Green Bay Packers, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams, or Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Green Bay duo is leading on Twitter with 39% of the vote, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. On Facebook, they're leading there too.
Yeah.
So you're going along with that just fine? No Dakota Prescott, CeeDee Lamb?
No, not yet.
I haven't seen a lot of,
And I think at some point when we do this in the future, you might see Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase on the list. That kind of what sparked it too. You know, they're starting to develop some really good chemistry in Cincinnati. So I think Bengal fans will be pretty excited. You could put Tom Brady and everybody, but it's not just one. He does such a good job of spreading the ball around. But yeah, it's probably Aaron Rodgers and Adams in Green Bay. But Kupp and Stafford,
Winnipeg.
I would probably think about Kupp and Stafford a lot.
And a new combo there, by the way. Matthew Stafford shows up, and the Los Angeles Rams are the best team in football. Figure that one out. Dale Berazuk, watching in Winnipeg, says, good morning from the Peg. Bombers will cover. It just slipped off the screen here. A lot of comments coming in today. All week long. They started out pissy. They're ending the week punchy, but in a good way. I lost the comment from Dale. Oh, Bombers will cover. Have a great weekend. Ice and Wheat Kings. Love it. Great show all. Talk next week. Thank you, Dale Berazuk. I had a buddy down here say to me, he wishes that there was more hockey around here, Moose, because as you know, I'm making friends.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean? It is, well, where you're from, you got every level of hockey. You got major, junior, junior A, junior B, junior C. You got senior. You got all kinds of minor hockey. And I'm like, I never thought about that. Here, you got every level of football.
Yeah, that's what we noticed when we went to Nashville, and you and I went down there, I remember that they were saying that there's record number of rings popping up all over the place after the Predators showed up. You know, if the Panthers start to get good again, which they are, will you see rinks start popping up all over South Florida? I don't know. I don't know the area well enough, but in those other markets like Nashville, like the rinks are popping up like crazy. So hockey is growing in the United States. I don't know if it's growing in the Sunshine State, though.
The Hockey Club podcast, watching from Tallahassee, Florida right now, says the official college football team of the RP show, the Florida State Seminoles, need a win versus Syracuse tomorrow. It's a must-win situation for a shot at a bowl game. Sad. Oh, they're almost out of it. Clemson is out of it. And we're only in, week 5 of the college season? Man, it doesn't take long in college football at all. The general in Calgary says, how are Brady and Gronk not on that list? You know, I'd like some time to sit down with the general in Calgary and just give him a good shake. Because it's about reading and listening comprehension. The poll question is, what's the best quarterback, wide receiver combo in the National Football League? And Rob Gronkowski is a tight end.
You're right.
It's your question. It's your question, and you brought up Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I brought up Kelce with Mahomes, and you're right. He's tight end. A little bit different. You look at Andrews in Baltimore, too, with the quarterback there. Why is his name?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, thank you.
Lamar Jackson.
But they've got a good duo, too. But we're talking about wide receivers and quarterbacks today.
From Carlos Lagena, watching in Indianapolis, says, if I get into hockey, it'll be because of the RP show. Well, you're welcome. But as our guy Figgy from the Dub Network, he said he got into the CFL because of this show. So what we do is we make miracles happen here every day. Ricky Kazama writes in, Ricky Regina. He says, good morning from Aspen Links Clubhouse. We are now open every day. Are they now a sponsor of ours?
I was there having lunch yesterday. It is like Ballers 2.0.
Looks beautiful in there.
Like Ballers 2.0. We're going to go when you get back. It is stunning how great it is in there. Stunning. So, there'll be some cool stuff happening. We had a great little lunch meeting yesterday, and we're going to do some cool things with Aspen Links.
Go check out the Moose's social media. Give them a follow on Instagram and have a look at if social media works, eh?
Oh, yeah.
It works. Jamie, watching in Toronto, says, how about Alan Diggs in Buffalo? I would say, how about him? You knew, Darren, you must have known when you came up with this question that you were going to get this.
Well, and that's what
people,
you want,
right?
That's what you want, right? Everybody's got a great duo, you know. You look at A.J. Brown and Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee, which hasn't been good so far this year. A lot of teams, there's a lot of great wide receiver quarterback duos around the National Football League. Every team, for the most part, kind of has one, but which is the best? And I think we got the 4 locked down, but yeah, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, that's a duo, probably right up there, and that's why you can write in.
By the way, before I mosey on back to CFL discussion for a moment, and by the way, Justin Dunk was to be with us in hour 1, but his flight's delayed getting into RP Show World Headquarters. So Moose and I are handling it here in hour 1. Dolphins, Colts meeting Sunday at Hard Luck Stadium, as I like to call it. Tickets can be had for $36 in the upper deck. And if you've been to formerly Sun Life Stadium, formerly Joe Robbie Stadium, formerly Pro Player Stadium, now Hard Rock Stadium, there's not a bad seat in the house. $36 will get you in to watch the Colts and the Dolphins on Sunday. And I'm going. I wasn't going to go. But I chatted with my friends at the Dolphins, and they said, you said you were going to go to all the games while you're here. And I'm like, well, I didn't think I was going to be here this long. So how do you say no to them, Moose? And then tonight, Panthers Dallas Stars, $25 in the lower bowl. Does somebody want to look up, for instance, tonight's Canadian NHL games. The Ottawa Senators are home to Montreal, and the Calgary Flames are home to Vancouver. You people in NHL Canadian markets, you want to look up the ticket prices there and tell me if you can find a lower bowl seat for $25? Maybe you can. Maybe this is just a preseason thing. I don't know. This is all new to me. Preseason NHL hockey in Florida. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It is not expensive.
I don't know if you're going to find a $36 CFL ticket.
Junior ticket or a junior hockey ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you're going to find a $25 or $36 CFL ticket, but thank you for the reminder. Back to the picks for the weekend from the Canadian Press. At Hamilton, the 4-3 Tiger Cats come off the bye playing at Tim Hortons Field, where they've won 11 in a row now. The expectation is veteran Jeremiah Masoli will start after backing up David Watford the past 2 games. Both wins anchored by defensive pick sixes. Who wrote this? David Watford has taken over from Zach Caleros as the Rodney Dangerfield of the CFL, getting no credit. He pilots the Tiger Cats to 2 straight victories, doesn't throw an interception in 57 attempts, not one in his first pro starts, and they pull him for Masoli the second. Holy moly, Jeremiah Masoli is available, and he's getting no credit. They're saying the only reason they won was because of pick sixes. Anyways, Montreal's 2-4. They've dropped 2 straight. And that includes a 30-27 loss last week in Toronto. Canadian Press is saying to take Hamilton. BetRegal.net saying to take Hamilton, 2.5-point favorites. And then maybe we'll break and come back and spend a minute on this Saskatchewan-Calgary game and whatever else people want to talk about today on this Flame Tech Football Friday. We are broadcasting live again for another day from Beaucampers Sports Bar and Grill in gorgeous Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Owned and operated by former Miami Dolphin linebacker Kim Beaucamper. Man, they've just been sensational to us down here in South Florida. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yes. From the Netflix series Bloodline, that's the beach. That's it from Rayborn House, and we're here in Fort Lauderdale for another day at Beaucamper Sports Bar and Grill. And the Moose is with me. You're going to hear, I think, some thunder. It's cracking here overhead. But we're safe and sound indoors at beautiful Beaucampers. And I said that we would get around to the CFL talk, but one thing we realized, Moose, and obviously doing this show is so much different than the radio show that I used to do for a variety of reasons, right? But because there it was just Saskatchewan-centric, just Rough Riders-centric, and that's about it. This is nationwide and, dare I say, continent-wide. And one thing that I learned is how much people love to talk about ticket prices. Woo! Nelly, do they love to talk about ticket prices. So what did I say? Because with fees and stuff, it was a little more, but it was like $36 for the Dolphins game on Sunday against the Colts, $25 for the Panthers. And people are writing in like crazy with ticket prices here. And you're seeing it on the screen in front of you. The Puck and Pigskin podcast says lower bowl tonight for the Flames and Vancouver Canucks. $200 for a preseason game tonight. $200. Rafters seats, $43.75. Where's the dude? Jason Wall in Winnipeg says, don't get me started on Panthers ticket prices. Grr. You can't even get a $25 lower bowl ticket to an AHL Moose game. Wayne in Victoria, BC says that's an amazing price for an NFL game, even though it's a preseason game. The NFL game is not preseason this Sunday. It's week 4, and it's the Colts and the Dolphins. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was at the Bills. The ticket was over $100. It's like $125. So in the NFL, they have premium pricing. And
they really care about what the game. They really care about what the game is too, right? This game's not as sexy as the Bills.
I also learned that people like to bitch in Canada. Breaking news. And Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, I can see the tickets being cheap for preseason, but not quite that cheap because people don't care about the preseason. Laughing, crying emoji. And one more, Ryan in Saratoga, New York says tickets for the Devils Rangers in the lower bowl are as low as $23, upper bowl for $11. By the way, I see a lot of people chiming in with their predictions for the Sask Calgary game. BetRegal.net has Saskatchewan favored by 2.5. An already difficult season became a little harder for the Stamps who are 2-5, and announced safety Royce Mechie suffered a season-ending bicep injury in a 23-17 road loss at Hamilton. Not only are the Stamps last in the West, they're 1-3 within their own division. And while they come off a bye week, they're facing a 5-2 Riders squad that had that thrilling road win over BC last week. So they got Sass picked to win that game. Do you want to spend... I got the Riders to roll, and it's rare that Saskatchewan has an opportunity to go into Calgary in October and step on the throat of the Calgary Stampeders. And because a win Saturday night, almost going to finish off the Calgary Stampeders. Do you have any more thoughts on that game, or do you want to move on to the NFL? Because I know that you've done some work on that with our friends at Bet Regal.
Yeah, no, just my thought on that is I agree with you. I think the Riders will go in and roll. I'm really curious to see what, if anything, happens with Bo Levi and how well they play. But Saskatchewan seems to bring out the best in Calgary, too, in Calgary and Saskatchewan. So, it's probably going to end up being a pretty good game. But you're right, it's probably the end of the road for Calgary if they don't win tonight. And that's a scary thought.
Now, last week, you picked 3 out of 4 correct NFL picks for our friends at BetRegal.net, the exclusive betting partner of the Canadian Football League and the Rod Pedersen Show. I know the boys say that they've got the graphics ready to roll. What do you have for our bettors this week, Moose?
You're going to like this, Rod. You're going to like this because I'm going with your Cowboys over the Carolina Panthers. There you go. It's at the bottom of the screen. I got Dallas at 4.5. Look, at Carolina does not have Christian McCaffrey. And Dallas has a very good rush defense. Sam Darnold, 3 weeks. Yeah, they're 3-0. But he's only thrown 3 touchdown passes. And this Dallas Cowboys defense is very, very good. Their pass defense is pretty good. So they'll need Sam Darnold to be really good if they're going to win. I'm taking Dallas by 4.5. Arizona and the Rams. I got the Rams in this one. Kyler Murray continues to play well, racking up the pass yards among the league leaders. But this is Matthew Stafford territory, Cooper Kupp territory. Now, their defense on paper doesn't look that good, the Rams. They're not among the leaders, pass defense, run defense, but they are top 5 in points against. They are top 5 in points for. I take the Rams at home to win the football game, and I really like this Ravens and Broncos matchup. I look at Marquise Hollywood Brown in Baltimore, who leads their team in receiving, 235 receiving yards, I believe. But he's had so many bad drops. If he pulls this together, he'll become an elite weapon, and that might be a top wide receiver quarterback duo down the stretch in the National Football League if they get it together at some point this year. But I like what their defense has done. I like what they do in big games. Denver's played well. This is a huge measuring stick for the Broncos. Whoever wins this game probably gets into the NFL top 5 come Tuesday. But I got Baltimore by a point here in this one.
Nice work. And we encourage all of our viewers to sign up for the free sportsbook at BetRegal.net. Whether you're a serious bettor or a newbie like myself, go to BetRegal.net, sign up. It's free to play. All you need is a proof of age and an email address, and you are in, and you can play a little action. Certainly makes your sports viewing experience a lot more fun when you put a little action on it. You get 1,000 Bet Regal points a month, not dollars, and play along with me at BetRegal.net. When we come back, we'll get into viewer takeover earlier. Got a lot of questions and comments loaded up on the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. And we'll do a sports update as well. By the way, coming up in hour 2, 3downnation.com CFL insider Justin Dunk, as well as Grey Cup champion, 9-year CFL veteran, and now Edmonton Elks analyst Eddie Steele. Live from Bo Camper Sports Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, you're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24 hours sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game. A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
That's the beautiful Intercoastal right behind us here at Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill as this Flame Tech Football Friday continues from football mad South Florida. And just before we jump back into things with Moose, sports update, the Toronto Blue Jays have work to do to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Jays are a game back of the Boston Red Sox for the second American League wildcard berth. Toronto 3 back of the Yankees, who are front-running this wild-card race. The Yankees knocking off the Blue Jays yesterday to win the set at Rogers Center. Jays close out the regular season with a 3-game series against the Orioles beginning tonight in Toronto. Roger Sloan of Merritt, BC is 2 strokes back of leader Sahith Theegala, heading into today's second round of the PGA Sanderson Farms Championship in Jackson, Mississippi. Theegala tops the leaderboard at 8 under par, 1 stroke up on Nick Watney and Harold Varner, the third. The Edmonton Oilers look for a third preseason win tonight when they take on the expansion Seattle Kraken in Everett, Washington. The Oilers are one of 5 Canadian clubs in NHL preseason play. The Canucks are home to the Flames. Montreal Canadiens visit the Ottawa Senators. Evan McPherson kicked a 35-yard field goal as time expired to give the Cincinnati Bengals a 24-21 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday Night Football. The Bengals trailed by 14 points at halftime. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. Well, where you'll never need to ask to have the CFL game put on. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Moose, I looked over my shoulder. If we can bring Moose onto the screen, I looked over my shoulder here in the break, and there was all these yachts going by. I feel like we could just charge admission, just put a camera up here, and just watch what's going on over my shoulder on a daily basis. You'd watch.
Oh, yeah. I'd be into that for sure. Just put it up on the wall, and away we go. It's beautiful. I could just sit down there all day, I'm sure of it.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. John Ohm, watching in Winnipeg, says the NFL halftime show announced Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar to perform at the Pepsi halftime show at Super Bowl. We covered that very quickly in the warm-up, but we can cover it now. You know my thoughts. I like local talent for the halftime show, and I know enough to know that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar, too, I think, are Southern California guys. So I'm all for it. How about you?
Yeah, it's an LA show, and let's remember something. The halftime show, I believe, nothing really to do about the music. So it doesn't really matter if you like the music, if you like what they do, if you listen to them on a regular basis. It doesn't really matter. It's about the show. Can you create a moment, something special that people will remember and get them feeling good? Bringing them all together, all these big names, I think will create a really cool moment if they do it right. And it could go down as one of the best ever. There is an opportunity that it completely flops, too. Let's not forget. But I think it could be a really cool moment. I think it could be done really well. Get that L.A. kind of glamour and lifestyle on the forefront.
Yeah, a lot of people want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go.
Jennifer from the Four Seasons. Yeah, she writes in. She says, Carolina-Dallas was tough. Carolina leads in sacks. I know, right? And they're 3-0. But, folks, they're still the Carolina Panthers. And they're going to go into Dallas and get rolled here this week by the Dallas Cowboys, who are turning out to be better than what we thought they were. And the Eagles proved to be slump busters or confidence builders on Monday Night Football. Sorry to interrupt.
No, Cowboys are a great football team. I really believe that. But Carolina is too. Now, they haven't had the toughest schedule, but they still hold the #1 pass defense, the #1 run defense in the National Football League. But Zeke's rolling. Dak's starting to incorporate some more of his weapons. So this will be a really good test for that Cowboys offense against a really good Carolina defense. But again, no Christian McCaffrey. Sam Darnold hasn't had to throw the ball a whole bunch. The Cowboys have a good run defense, so they're going to force him to throw. It could lead to mistakes. So we're really going to see what Carolina is made of on Sunday.
Let's see how Mike McCarthy tries to botch this one as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Comments coming in from all over the continent via Prairie Mobile text line, Twitter, and obviously the YouTube and Facebook feed. I could sit here and read this all day. It feels like I am. But from Metal Shingle Guy writes in and he says, I'm looking forward to Whitehead blowing by the Bombers tonight. Will the president get on the field for Winnipeg? Go Lions. I don't think Naaman Roosevelt has played yet for the Blue Bombers since they signed him, right? He didn't play in either game against Saskatchewan, and have they even played since?
That's right.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are loaded for bear. Naaman Roosevelt was not signed because of a need. He was signed for depth. Winnipeg is kicking the crap out of everybody. From JR in Moose Jaw, says the Jays have Bo the Flow, but the RP show has Moose the Flow. Best hair on the tube. Go Jays. How often do you get comments about your hair, Moose?
Yeah, it's almost as much as the Sudeikis thing.
Is that right, huh? You should
it's
get a
awful.
Head and Shoulders deal or something. You should get a shampoo deal.
Herbal essences.
There you go. Hour 2 coming up with Justin Duncan, Eddie Steele. We'll be right back. It's the RP Show, Flame Tech Football Friday here on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
From the Canadian Football League, the Edmonton Elks. At what point do we start to look up at Edmonton and go, what are they doing up there? Running players out of town, losers of 3 in a row. Somebody said, Rod, what's your thoughts on Travis Hamonic not getting vaccinated? I don't care anymore.
Out of the bunker, into the sunshine. On the road with the Rod Pedersen Show.
You betcha. And that's a live look in here in Fort Lauderdale. We're at Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill for another day. Kim Bocamper and his staff opening their doors to us here. Kim Bocamper, a 9-year Miami Dolphin linebacker, Pro Bowler. Inviting all of you, whenever you're in the South Florida region, to check in this location or any of the Bocampers locations all across South Florida. Great place to watch sports, watch football, and say hi. This is hour 2 of the RP show. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday, and the Moose is with us here on the program. He is in the bunker back in the Queen City, and I got to tell you, Moose, I don't know about you, but my word, did we cover a lot in hour 1. We went through all the CFL games. We covered best bets in Week 4 of the National Football League. We covered ticket prices in NFL and NHL markets. Please, somebody tell me what we've missed. And I see more people writing in here. They want to talk Super Bowl, Grey Cup halftime shows. We've covered a lot here, you and me, today.
Yeah, we really have. It's been around and around and around, and there's probably more. I mean, we could get into some of those games in the weekend and different things like that, but yeah, we covered a lot of ground in hour one, no doubt, and it's just setting up to be a fun hour, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's going to be a busy hour, too. For those that just tuned in, whether you're watching on Game Plus TV, maybe you're watching live streaming on YouTube or Facebook, or maybe you're listening to the podcast after the fact, audio only. Justin Dunk of 3downnation.com was to be with us in hour one. His flight was delayed getting into RP Show World Headquarters. But producer Clark has informed me that Dunk is on his way to the studio right now. And Eddie Steele will be joining us from the Edmonton Elks broadcast crew. NHL preseason tonight as well. We went through last night's NHL preseason scores. There are 9 games tonight, and I do want to point out a couple things. Maybe now would be a good time to talk about sports on tap tonight. And I got to be honest, I'm out here in this Eastern time zone, Darren. People are asking me if I'm ever returning. The answer to that is TBD. And it's different for the people out here watching the show where it's afternoon, right? You guys are getting up and it's like, good morning, you're all having your coffee, and they're looking ahead to tonight. And you guys are all still looking at last night's games. Am I right?
It's a little bit of that, especially if you're on the West Coast, man. Like, it is two completely different perspectives. Like, the day's almost over. I mean, at least it's half over on the East Coast where you are. But, yeah, it is. It's a little bit different.
So I'm just reading the viewer comments. The Prairie Mobile text line is open. We have some messages from Manitoba, the 204, and they've sent voice messages. So the good news is that we continue to spread our wings into new regions. The bad news is we continue to have to instruct people to please not send photos, links, nor voice messages to the Prairie Mobile text line. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Just send 140 characters, please. That's all we need. We don't need the rest of the bunk. Clay in Brandon's watching and says, when is Dunk on? He's coming up this hour, Clay. Stay tuned. You know, one thing I noticed, I mentioned last hour, people really love to talk about ticket prices. And I mentioned that the Dolphins-Colts game on Sunday, where I'm hoping to see Scott Milanovich, the quarterback's coach of the Colts, longtime CFL coach, that tickets could be had there for $4. For the Panthers tonight, $25 in the lower bowl, but thankfully I don't have to pay for those tickets for the Florida Panthers. And I'm excited to meet with them at the game tonight. I guess I told you on the phone this morning I have a meeting with the Panthers because I'm following their coverage down here, and they're very similar to Arizona. They don't get a lot of coverage. There's Florida Hockey Now, the Miami Herald, and that's about it. FloridaPanthers.com. That's who you're relying on for Florida Panthers hockey coverage. Vegas, completely different story, Moose.
Yeah.
And you know this story. I go to Las Vegas, and I'm rolling with Gary Lawless, and my brother's with me, the Cowboy. And Gary's like, pick out your seats, and I'll get you the tickets. And I'm like, well, I'd like to sit in the press box. And Gary's like, you're not sitting in the press box. And I'm like, why not? And he goes, it's packed. It's packed. There's like over 100 reporters in the Las Vegas press box. I don't get it. I got to get you down to Vegas into a Golden Knights game. What I'm saying is Florida, Arizona, not a problem getting a spot media purposes. Vegas, I don't know how they did it. I still don't know how they did it, other than at the time a distinct absence of other big-time sports in the market. Would that be fair? Vegas didn't have the Raiders when the Golden Knights got here, and here they're still battling the Dolphins and the Heat and the Marlins. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they got there first, and the stars aligned, and they were good, and they got attention, and they built relationships with all those media. And once you build the relationships, you've got the relationships. So they put in the work, and they had a lot of good fortune by being first, too.
Viewers, you tell us what you'd like to talk about. We'll get more serious later on in the hour with Eddie Steele and Justin Dunk. But a lot of them want to talk about the the halftime act, and whether it be Super Bowl or Grey Cup, again, I don't know how long is this halftime going to be? 48 minutes? Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. Listen, I'm a fan of all of them, but how long do we have? I don't think I ever told you this story. 2007 Grey Cup in Toronto, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I had lined up the premier of the province coming on, Brad Wall. Nobody bothered to tell the broadcaster that it was not a 16-minute halftime, or in special occasions we extended it to 18. 27-minute halftime show for the Grey Cup in Toronto. And do you remember the halftime act, by the way, of the 2007 Grey Cup? For a basket of wings at Bo Campers? You'll get it? Anyone? No. Anyone? The first to write in will get a free Rod Pedersen Show ball cap. So anyways, it was not, who was talking to me? No. Black Eyed Peas was 2005 Vancouver. No. Keep guessing. Anyways, I'm sitting there interviewing the premier of the province, Brad Wall. 27-minute halftime interview, Moose.
Wow.
You understand how things roll in this broadcast world. I feel like there was 55,000 people in Skydome that night. They all knew it was going to be 27 minutes at halftime. I did. What was his favorite football player growing up? You know what I mean?
Rod, we're going to need you to stretch for about 15 extra minutes. Like, not
with the premier of the province.
When I do television, you know, I'm doing games or doing other things, and I got a producer in my ear. They'll say, we're going to need you to stretch for 15 seconds. We're going to need you to stretch for 30 seconds while we get things in place. No, Rod, we're going to need you to stretch for an extra 20 minutes. No big deal.
And I've done it, by the way. Which, don't get me started. I've stretched for 59 minutes, but don't worry. I can handle it. By the way, nobody's got it yet. Lenny Kravitz was the halftime act of the 2007 Grey Cup in Toronto, by the way. Lenny Kravitz. By the way, from the Puck and Pigskin podcast, some viewers are giving us more things to talk about here. In red here, they say Jacob Markstrom and Dustin Wolf penciled in tonight for the Flames. Can't wait to see Wolf play with the big boys. Dustin Wolf from Tustin, California, friend of the show, and I think the future in goal for the Calgary Flames once what's left of the Markstrom contract's up in 5 years. By the way, Chris Jarl, watching on Facebook, wants to know who you got, Moose, Buccaneers or Patriots on Sunday night. Did I not point out, I got to check to see if Bet Regal's moved their line yet, but it's Buccaneers favored. I got it written down here somewhere, too. Is it 4.5 Bucks favored in New England on Sunday night?
I thought it was closer to 7. I'll have to check out the Bet Regal.
Might be 6.5. Let me go to the big board.
Go to the big board. And what did I say when Tampa Bay played Atlanta? You could make the spread 30 points. I'm still taking the Bucks. You could make the spread 30 points. I'm still taking the Bucks in this one. I got the Bucks to roll over New England. I just do. I do.
Yeah, but do you have them to cover? It is an even 7.
Yeah, I got them to cover that.
It's an even 7.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm amazed that we have gone through 1 hour and 10 minutes of the program, and we have not talked about Belichick Brady yet to this point. And it's funny because I got an email today from USA Today, and it was, what ended Belichick-Brady relationship? And again, I get sucked in. I click on it, and I'm like, when I kind of knew. And you know what it was? I don't know if you get notifications from USA Today or if you read it or not, but it was that they got tired of each other. Yeah. Why do all relationships end? I mean, yes, it got specifically into them, but basically into the reasons. But Bill Belichick felt that Tom Brady got too big for the program. Didn't we all know that?
We all knew that. Now we're starting to see excerpts from the book that's coming out, detailing a little bit of the breakup. Yeah. And it's very juicy. By the way, it's 11:11 that we're talking about this. But
time zone.
Yeah. So You know, it is. It's very interesting. You know, the talk about, Brady wanting to potentially leave in 2017, telling Wes Welker that, I want to play for somebody else. There's a lot of it. And then, we heard stuff about, who is that person that Brady was mad at, the quarterback, when he was doing his free agency tour, right? And now they're pointing that they think it was San Francisco because he had hinted that he wanted to go and finish his career close to home in San Francisco. So there's a lot of great details that are going to come out. I'm really curious to see what the pregame is like, what Brady's emotion is like when they tribute him, what Belichick's face looks like, all of it. Will we see a Bill Belichick eye roll in the middle of that broadcast? I don't know. It'll be, but I'm going to be tuning in.
Oh, we all are. We all are. And I'm with you, Buccaneers to win. They're just a far better team. And also a motivated Tom Brady. What more do you need? And Richard Sherman's going to want to put his best foot forward. They say he's starting at corner. Nobody's talking about Gronk in this either, by the way. Not one word about Rob Gronkowski, who would rather retire than play for Bill Belichick. Rather retire. Sat out a year of football and then came out of retirement to go play with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay and win a Super Bowl. How come nobody's talking about Gronk, by the way? Oh, from our viewers, as we jump back on track here in hour 2, which is brought to you by Core Grain, doing what's right for your farm. David Asplin of Winnipeg says, afternoon, Rod. It's going to be a late game tonight. Any chance you're taking an afternoon nap to catch it? That's a hard no, David. I'll be getting up in the morning and checking the highlights, going to tsn.ca and watching the video highlights of the game. It's like last week. John Frenzy, the Don Cherry of football, called me, Moose. I don't think I told you this. It was Saturday morning. Oh, what'd you think of the Rider game last night? Didn't watch it, John. What? I didn't watch the game, John. I was in bed. Didn't watch a play. Shocked. Speechless. My focus tonight it kicks off at 10 Eastern. My focus tonight is going to the Florida Panthers and the Dallas Stars. And as I said in my commentary one of the days this week, or maybe it was last week, on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98 FM and here on rodpedersen.com, is that I'm tired of explaining to people that I'm not the Rider guy anymore. I'm not really the CFL guy anymore. Tired of explaining it. So I'm just going to do my thing and wait for everybody to follow in line with what I'm doing with my life. Are all these comments behind? Now they're all coming in with Lenny Kravitz. I think there's a delay.
Same thing. Justin Bieber, Nickelback. There might be a delay.
Are they all coming? They're just coming in now?
It shows 5 minutes ago on my clock here. Maybe you're on the second page of the screen. Are you on the second page of notes?
Oh, no, I'm on the first page, I think. Let me go have a look, but that's fine. Oh, yeah, I was on the second page. Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says, Rod, any marlin fishing while out there? I'm going to this weekend. I'm going to be doing that this weekend. I told you that I got invited to the Buccaneers alumni thing on Saturday in Boca Raton, in Boca.
Yeah.
But I'm going to the Keys. Can't make it this time. I said next time. Which reminds me, by the way, all these sports bars, we're going to go to probably a few more next week. But there's been enough that I said, you know what? We're just going to have to come back next time because I can't get to everybody.
Yeah.
John in Winnipeg. Rod, any golf games in Florida? Come on, man. How about no, John? How about no? Down here working. Yeah, because I see everybody's writing in about 11-11. It's a thing. And people are talking about Grey Cup acts. Luba in Winnipeg in 1991. Yeah. It is a lot of fun to go back and look at various halftime acts, particularly for the Grey Cup, but Super Bowl as well, and just see how it's climbed over the years. You know what I mean? From what it was. You okay, Ted?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's okay. Did Dung show up yet?
Not yet. We'll go check the hallway for him.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Rod didn't watch the Riders game. Mo will revoke his citizenship. Probably not. Probably not. But I did get up and watch the highlights the next morning. Yeah, and me and Scotty are just fine. It's hour 2 of the RP show on this Flame Tech Football Friday. It's brought to you by Core Grain, doing what's right for your farm. We'll be right back to Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill. After this timeout, you're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida is the site of the RP show on this Flame Tech Football Friday, and who knows, we might be back here to Bo Campers next week. We got a busy weekend planned ahead of that. Panthers and Dallas Stars tonight from FLA Live Arena. Dolphins and Colts on Sunday from Hard Rock Stadium. It's been quite a day here for Flame Tech on the RP Show, and I'm going to get to a sports update in a moment. Football Friday brought to you by Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. What's happening back there in the studio, Moose? Has Justin Dunk showed up yet or not?
That's a negative.
That's a hard no. Okay,
that's a hard no.
Clark was asking what we're going to do when Dunk shows up. I guess you guys get us slide out of the chair. Is that what you're going to do? What are you going to do?
Sure. I'll tell you when he's here, and we'll make that work. This is only live television. We've had...
Wasn't it interesting timing that I said to you on the phone this morning what we deal with live television? I don't just mean you and me sitting here on the camera, but the guys in the back room, too.
Exactly. And swapping stuff in, swapping stuff out, right?
Yeah. Making chicken salad out of lemonade on a daily basis. A sports update. The Toronto Blue Jays open a season-ending 3-game series with the Baltimore Orioles tonight at Rogers Center. Jays enter the contest a game back of Boston and Seattle for the second American League wildcard spot. Steven Matz scheduled to start for Toronto at Rogers Center tonight. The Boston Red Sox will need to pull out of their current tailspin in order to push for a wildcard spot. The Red Sox have lost 5 of their last 6, including 2 to lowly Baltimore, and have seen their lead in the American League wildcard race evaporate. The Red Sox are now tied for the second wildcard spot with the Seattle Mariners, who start a series with the visiting L.A. Angels tonight. And speaking of them, Shohei Ohtani has already hit 100 miles per hour with his fastball. Now he needs one more RBI to hit 100. The Angels' two-way sensation got his 99th RBI with his American League leading 8th triple in last night's 7-6 loss to Texas. But I don't know if you saw, but they've shut down Shohei for the rest of the season pitching. And the BC Lions are home to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in CFL play tonight. The Lions' offense has been on a tear lately, with receiver Lucky Whitehead and quarterback Michael Riley both earning top performer honors for the month of September. But they'll be in tough against the league-leading Blue Bombers and their stingy defense. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your source for all things Western Hockey League, where it's opening night. Stop in today at dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with a promo code RP Show. Order yours today at g2gbars.ca. I'm just checking some of the messages that have come in today, Moose. Have you noticed, Aaron, that it's been just you and me for the whole show?
It's been pretty great, hey?
So I said we've covered a lot of ground. We've covered a lot of ground. Regarding those halftime acts, Mick Gonzalez is watching in Toledo, Ohio, on the Game Plus TV network, where we're carried on the Buckeye cable carrier. He says, my first Grey Cup was in Toronto in 1992, and the opening act was Dan Hill. The halftime show was some one-hit wonder from Quebec. Yes, Celine Dion. How about that?
That's pretty good. Best halftime I ever seen was the Nickelback halftime in the Grey Cup. I really think that was the best one. Not because Nickelback is my favorite band or anything like that, but they had energy. They sounded really good live, and I just thought it was the best. So it brought a moment. It brought energy. They sounded really good. For me, that was the best one.
Not the ones in Sasky? Not Headley?
They're okay.
I'm trying to remember the ones that we've had.
Yeah. Shania Twain, right? No, that was the Skidoos and the whole deal.
That was Ottawa, 2017.
That was Ottawa, yeah.
And Edmonton, 2002. Glenn Chernick writes us on Twitter regarding opening night in the Western Hockey League. He says, what's all this talk about the Raiders and the Pats? The best game tonight will be the Blades and Warriors. I'll be selling 50-50s tonight. Be sure and buy some, Sasky people.
All right.
Obviously that game's a Moose Jaw tonight. Am I right?
Yep. Blades
what's
home
your
openers
deal with the
tomorrow?
Saskatoon Blades? Yeah, what's your deal with the Blades? You take a minute and tell our viewers what you got going on this fall in terms of your broadcast schedule, because it's a little hard to follow.
Yeah, so I'm going to continue to do as much as I possibly can get my hands on, which I enjoy. So I'll continue to do the Canada West football, games, which run every weekend now until, the middle of November. I will be doing PFC football every weekend now until the early November, depending on how far the Regina Thunder go and the teams in Saskatchewan. We'll be doing Regina Pats television right up until the end of the year and the playoffs. And then I'm going to jump back in and do Saskatoon Blades radio. So I'll be hitting the road again as often as I can. I'll do about 25 Saskatoon Blades games throughout the fall and winter. So I won't make the home opener this weekend, but I think the 15th or something around there is my first trip.
Well, it's funny you say that you're doing as much as you can. I'm doing as little as I can, as you can tell. But we're at different stages in our broadcast careers.
You're on the air every single day. You're traveling and building relationships in new markets. I think we're both doing as much as we possibly can.
That's a good point. Just from a play-by-play perspective, no.
Oh, if I was there, I couldn't do the games. And when that'll happen, too.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm enjoying what I got going on, so thanks for pointing that out. They continue to want to discuss halftime acts and a little more other football stuff here, but Trish Heege is watching on Facebook and says, love the Headley Show at Grey Cup. That was in 2013 at Taylor Field in Regina with the snowmobiles crisscrossing each other in midair. I will never forget that as long as I live. How do you miss that?
I was inside. To the bathroom? Yeah, getting another drink and everything else. I'm like, okay, I got a minute. I'll go quick. I even left like a minute early, and I come back out, and they're wrapping up. I'm like, I missed the halftime show. I couldn't believe it.
From the Puck and Pigskin podcast says, Fall Out Boy a few years ago were pretty good. That was, I want to say Winnipeg 2015 because I was there. Adam in Hamilton, Ticats fan, says, who's playing halftime this year? I know, right? That's the point. We don't know, unless I've missed it.
No.
They haven't had an announcement.
The Super Bowl is 2 months after the Grey Cup, and they've announced theirs. We didn't miss it, did we?
Well, I don't think so, because we got some pretty diehard CFL fans that are writing in here, and they don't know who the Grey Cup halftime act is this year either. Come on, somebody tell us. Somebody write in and tell us. Jennifer from the Four Seasons writes in, and she says, it's going to be a busy Saturday. Regina Pats tailgate party, puck drop at 1 p.m. Can't wait to see live hockey and sit in my seat. And then the Riders play for the win. A pretty good doubleheader action for the Regina sports fans. I didn't realize they obviously moved that Pats game up to 1 o'clock because of the CBC broadcast, I guess, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be enjoying the Florida Keys. Listen, do we want to bring Eddie in here, or are we going to take a break first? Probably should take a break first, huh? Okay. Moose, we'll see you back here if we can a little later. Well, maybe not. If I don't and Justin Duck takes up your spot, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday.
You have a great weekend, too.
We're going to talk some CFL with Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion, Edmonton Elks analyst when we come back. You're watching the RP Show live from Beaucamper Sports Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
A look outside Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the third largest sports bar in America. Owned and operated by former Miami Dolphins linebacker Kim Bo Camper, a Pro Bowler in 1979. Listen, for the fantasy footballers, and I don't care who it is, whether it's Justin Dunk or producer Clark, maybe it's our next guest, Eddie Steele or Moose. We got a fantasy football questions come in from the area code 217. I just went to the big board. Area 17's in Illinois. Anonymous viewer watching on Game Plus TV in Illinois says, who should I pick up in case Kittle doesn't play? George Kittle. Geisick, Cook, Knox, Tremble, or Ertz? Dude, you're asking the wrong guy. But we can ask our fantasy footballers that question. In case George Kittle doesn't play this weekend, who should this fantasy footballer pick up? Well, it's not a fantasy in Edmonton at all as we bring in Eddie Steele, first-year Edmonton Elks analyst on 630 Ched. Been a while since I've seen him. He's looking fresh as always. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing well, Rod. How you doing? It's been a long time.
It's been far too long. What a year you picked to be an analyst for Edmonton Elks football, my friend. You've had a lot to analyze. How's it going for you?
It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself. Yeah, lots to analyze, not for the good, though. It's been pretty ugly up here in Edmonton, and I'm sure you're well aware, much like anybody who's been following the CFL. It's been a pretty tumultuous season thus far for the Elks. It's nice being on this side of the fence on the media side because I get to pick apart an organization and not catch any flack for it, so I like it.
Not yet, you haven't apparently, but you're right. Us on the media side can sleep just fine at night. But hey, the Elks have lost 3 in a row. They're 2-5. Clearly, you've heard the stat. Calgary and Edmonton have never ever missed the playoffs in the same year, and it's kind of looking that way. I need your analysis of this Edmonton Elks team. Are they as bad as their record indicates?
On paper, talent-wise, you wouldn't think they're as bad, but it goes deeper than just the guys in the locker room. I think there's a major division amongst the players in the locker room. I think that goes back to the whole COVID outbreak. You got a lot of guys who are on opposite sides, and they're just really not playing together as a team. But it actually goes even higher than that. And I was on a radio show yesterday talking about it, and it starts from the top down. And Brock Sunderland, their GM, I think there's some issues with him and just the way he conducts himself, the way he does business. And it's a trickle-down effect throughout the organization. And ultimately, he's the captain of the ship, and where he steers it, the ship is going to go. And I think he's a major factor why we're seeing the Elks in the situation that they're in right now.
Well, there's a lot of red flags, obviously, and where do you start? I mean, pairing's got Milanovic $500,000 a year, and he doesn't even coach a game, let alone a practice. Their record at 2-5, the way some players have been cut and sent out of town. You're right, Eddie. We are all following it very closely. But I want to ask you this about the coaching staff, though, because I do like Jamie Elizondo a lot. I'm sure you do, too. He's a good guy. And they got quality coaches on the staff at Noel Thorpe. Should they get a pass in a way that it's their first year together, or no, because it's pro football and you never get a pass?
That's a good question. I really do like Jamie. He's a nice guy. I had some good conversations with him, but too bad being a nice guy doesn't win you pro football games. They've had some major issues with their special teams this year. They've gone through 2 special teams coordinators, actually. They had A.J. Gass. He was let go right before the season. They had another guy who I wasn't too familiar with. He got in a fight with Jamie Elizondo on the sidelines early in the season. They let him go. But again, the arrow points directly back to Brock and how he has handled the coaches, because Brock is the one who's in charge. It's not necessarily Jamie who's in charge and calling the shots. I don't think that Jamie Elizondo will be gone next year. I think he'll get another opportunity just because it's challenging, right? It's a COVID season, but everybody's in the same boat. But I don't think this is more of a coaching issue. I think it's more of an organizational issue, in my opinion.
Hey, I get what you're saying. You're saying it's a people issue, is what you're saying. And like I say, with a general manager, which is Brock Sunderland's title, I realized it when I was with a team, and I won't say which one or when, but when we didn't have a general manager for a year, and I realized, wait a minute, now I know what GMs do. They generally manage. They're responsible for everything. So they get all the glory when it goes well, and unfortunately, they got to take the heat when it doesn't go well, and not much has gone well for the Edmonton Elks right now. Now, so let me ask you this. We're halfway through the season, Eddie. Do you see they or Calgary turning it around in time to make the playoffs, or even at least make it a race in the CFL West?
Between the two teams, Calgary has a way better opportunity. I mean, the Elks, they're staring down the pipe at a home and home right now with Winnipeg. Winnipeg's the best team in the league. They're not going to win those games. They have Saskatchewan, a couple of tough games against Saskatchewan. And then to finish the year, the Elks have 3 games in 7 days. I think at that point in time, the players are just going to be showing up just to collect the check. I don't think their heart's going to be in it. And let's see how their physical bodies will be in it, because that's unprecedented to play 3 games in 7 days in pro football. So Elks don't have a shot, in my opinion. Calgary, I think, has a much better opportunity to make the playoffs. They got to go on a run, though. Bo Levi hasn't been playing good football this year. I've been pretty vocal on Twitter about how much I really like Jake Meyer, the backup. And the reality is he's outplayed Bo Levi this year. Injuries and all that aside, we got to look at the proof and the facts and the numbers. And Jake Meyer has given them a better opportunity to win. Not saying you got to bench Bo, but I think Bo's leash is a lot shorter right now, because it's about winning games, and Jake Meyer has moved the offense and produced at a much higher rate this season.
Grey Cup champion and 9-year CFL veteran Eddie Steele is with us. And I've always said, Eddie, that you're a must follow on Twitter, but even more so now. Eddie Steele 97 is his Twitter handle. You said something, and you got to refresh my memory here, about Bo a few weeks ago. I think it was after the Hamilton game when Calgary lost in Hamilton. You're like, if you just took the names off these 2 quarterbacks and just looked at them on the field, you would say Mayer's better, but Bo's kind of getting a pass because of his resume. Did I have that right? Can you kind of tell our viewers what you meant by that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like what I just said. Mayer is producing at a way better clip right now. The numbers aren't even close. Mayer's thrown for over 300 yards every start he's had, moved the ball well. He doesn't look like a traditional rookie where he's seeing ghosts. He's able to make his reads and make the throws on time. And the offense just has moved the ball better and scored more points when Mayer has been their quarterback this year. Not to take anything away from Bo. Bo is, we all know his legacy and how good he's been for the organization, but he's hurt, you know? I don't know how his shoulder is doing because he had an injury last time out, shoulder injury last football season. He broke his leg earlier this season. So it's not sitting here saying he's done for, but the reality is Mayer has played better and you can't argue it. And you get the people who would argue back and forth with me on Twitter, but you got to take your sentimental feelings towards Bo Levi out of it, and you look at the numbers, and you can't compare. The numbers don't lie.
Do you enjoy the back and forth with the fans, I guess I would say, or viewers on Twitter, because you don't shy away from it? How much do you enjoy that side of the analyst role?
I enjoy it. It's fun just interacting with people, but there is an ego side of it too, where you want to prove people wrong or you think that you know a little bit more than other people. So I like to come at it with hard facts. I don't just I'm not just talking randomly out of my butt. I like to come at it from an intelligence perspective. I'm not just there to argue, but I like people to know the reality of things. And, when it comes to CFL football and just football in general, I like to think I know a little bit more than general population. I'm not Mr. Perfect. I don't know everything, but, played 9 years of pro ball. I do have a little bit of insight into the intricacies of the game, the locker room, how guys operate and how they think. So I like to come at it from a more intelligent perspective. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy that you are, and I appreciate you for that. You're the exact kind of guy the CFL needs. Just a couple of quick last questions. Just on the East, you're very well thought of Ticats alumni by that organization. They seem to be getting it rolling. They got Montreal coming in there tomorrow. Who do you see standing atop the Eastern Division, representing that division in the Grey Cup in Hamilton in December?
Don't sleep on the Argos. And, I'm a Chris Jones fan. That's a big addition for their defense. And they've been playing some pretty good football. Hamilton's going to be there as well. But I think coming out of the East, the Argos are probably going to be one of the favorites because they're starting to play some much better football. Pretty well-rounded team. Lots of good athletes on that football team and lots of good talent. And, like I said, that Chris Jones X factor, he always has a good defense. And you're going to see the Argos really take that identity on the defensive side of the ball and start playing some Chris Jones football. So I think the Argos are going to do some damage. Ticats, they got to get their quarterback situation figured out. Montreal, we'll see. They haven't shown me enough. I thought going into this season they were going to be better than they are. So they need to prove it to me. But right now I'd be looking at the Argos to come out of the East.
And Eddie, you are reading my mind. That's my last comment about Chris Jones. We're both Chris Jones fans. And we'll see how it ends up with Toronto. He's a winner. I don't know if that'll be enough to put them over the top, but it doesn't hurt, right? And if you're Edmonton, just saying, you could sweep everybody out and bring in Jones as coach and general manager next year just like that. Any chance you could see that happening there in the City of Champions?
I could see that happening, but I think that's a long shot. I don't think that they're going to sweep out everybody and start fresh. I've never really thought of that, and you got my mind going now. Like, you never know in this league. Like, you really never know what could happen in the off season. It wouldn't be a bad thing for the organization. We both feel the same way about him, and he's a winner. But that would take a lot of change, and we've seen a lot of change in the years, but I just don't know if the Elks have it in them to make a move like that. It's a gutsy move organizationally. I think he would be well received coming back here. I've already seen on social media people are calling for him to come back here, even though he left kind of it wasn't the best departure after we won the Grey Cup. He kind of just jetted off and took his whole coaching staff. But man, stranger things have happened, and it would be a pretty cool addition if he did come back out here, and it'd probably be calling me up, offering me a job, but I'd have to say no.
Eddie, they took the coaching staff and you and Willie Jefferson and 7 of the other best Edmonton players. Listen, but yeah, we're never surprised what happens in the CFL, but I was told Marcel Desjardins would be fired by now in Ottawa, and that hasn't happened. So anyways, that's what makes it fun. Always good seeing you, my man. Keep in touch and keep doing what you're doing. Keep being you. I love it.
I appreciate it, Rod, and don't get sunburned down there, man.
Not a chance. See, Eddie. Eddie Steele, Edmonton Elks analyst and Grey Cup champion, joining us today from the City of Champions. We got one segment left. I have no idea who's going to join me. So there's enough reason to tune in after this break for overtime for the Four Seasons. We'll be right back to Bo Campers in Fort Lauderdale, Florida after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That is the backside of where we are today for this Flame Tech Football Friday. Bo Camper's Sports Bar and Grill. One more segment. It's called Overtime. We may find ourselves back here next week, but I can tell you I am ready for the weekend. But before that, addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a foundation for your recovery with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. Visit them today at aurorarecoverycenter.com. And by the way, our Friday guests are presented by Wheaton Kia in Regina, Saskatchewan. You can find them at the corner of Avonhurst and Albert in North Regina. I'm told that we've, I don't say saved the best for the last. That might be rude to Eddie Steele, but they tell me that Justin Dunk is in the bunker back in the rectangle. And we got him, and he's got his jacket on. He's got a sweat on from 3downnation.com.
Right
How you doing, Justin?
Roddy. Doing well, buddy.
I really appreciate you beetling it in, the Adam Schefter of the CFL. And I don't know if you just caught Eddie Steele basically painting a target on the back of Brock Sunderland and letting the arrow go, boom, for what's going on with the Edmonton Elks. Has not been a good week for the Edmonton Elks, Justin.
It hasn't been a good year, Roddy. And there's got to be somebody that takes the fall for this. Overall, you look at them, they're the only team in the CFL that had a COVID outbreak. Now, I know that can be random, but the fact that it was the Elks that had one of the lowest vaccination rates in the league, to me, something's got to happen here, especially if they're last in the West.
Yeah, well, what can you tell me about the Brock Sunderland not vaccinated story? Because obviously I got football people blowing up my phone like you do, and a lot of them are saying, how does he encourage players to be vaccinated and coaches if he's not? And I'm saying, I don't even know if he is. I don't know the inside of that situation or that organization. But what do you know about Brock Sunderland not being vaccinated? Because as people say, it doesn't show great leadership.
Exactly, and I think that there is more to the story overall, and it's something that I'm not super comfortable talking about because I do believe people's medical records should be their own personal information that they want to put out there. But I will say, Roddy, because the Elks put out a statement after TSN reported it, this was not news, though, around the league, right? Like, you all know about this, and there was even people talking about, well, hey, they have this outbreak, but their GM's not vaccinated. So it was almost like they were asking for it in a sense, but there are some people around the league that feel like potentially, I don't want to spout too many opinions here, but that Sunderland might have been looking for an excuse to back up, not getting vaccinated. And if that's his choice not to do so, I totally respect that. But when you're trying to operate within a Canadian Football League that does not want to have games moved around, like the Elks game that had to happen, 3 in a short time frame, then you either make a choice. And that's what I believe is going on right now in Edmonton with a couple other people as well.
That's what I hear. And they're not the only team, I understand as well. Hey, did Ottawa winning Tuesday night, 34-24 over the Edmonton Elks, save general manager Marcel Desjardins' job, or did it just kick the can down the road? Because I was told that a firing was imminent, and as we sit here today, he's still on the job.
I don't think it's imminent, to be quite honest. And if anything, Roddy, I'll sort of flip this one on you. I think the win helps Paul LaPolice more than anybody there, because Marcel Desjardins essentially was bringing in the players that Paul LaPolice wanted for most of the season. Matt Nichols, top among them. LaPolice went to ownership, sold Nichols, and that's why Nick Arbuckle ended up in Toronto. LaPolice wanted Timothy Flanders. He continues to start games, even though the football operations department has brought in other players and has strongly encouraged LaPolice to play them, but Flanders is still playing. And what that does, Roddy, is it hurts the team around you because they look at Flanders and see clearly he doesn't have any juice left, with all due respect. Yes, he had the touchdown in the game, but there are younger players that could be better. And that's from insiders on that Ottawa franchise. So I think it helps LaPolice more than anybody there. To be quite honest, there were some rumblings, as you said, that Desjardins could be let go. But he's extremely tight with ownership there, and they run things a little differently. He's always kept the team on budget. So I don't necessarily think Marcel Desjardins is going to have a can tied to him as quickly as people think he will.
Hey, how about Chris Jones coming back to the CFL in Toronto? I just flipped it to Eddie. Could you see Chris Jones taking over the entire outfit in Edmonton? I know that's looking a few steps down the road, but I'm sure that those Chris Jones articles are the most read at 3downnation.com. Great thing for the CFL. We talked about that the last time you were on with us. How do you see this working out to the end of the season with Chris Jones and the Argos?
Well, I think he's going to be beneficial for that Argos defense. And then, as you mentioned, I know that's what we do in sports. We look down the road, right? It's fun. I could see if Brock Sunderland and Jamie Elizondo are let go in Edmonton, Chris Jones being brought in there. He's been there before. You know he can do everything. And most importantly, you know his team's going to be competitive. First and foremost. So when I asked Jones directly a couple weeks ago, are you committed to the Argos past the 2021 season? He essentially said, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, but football is very transient. So he's not going to know whether he's going to be there in 2022 in Toronto, that is, until it actually happens. And I don't blame him, because if something else shakes free, and we've seen some weird stuff happen in the off seasons, Roddy, right? Like Ed Hervey getting fired, coaches leaving like Scott Milanovic. That's why Jamie Elizondo's head coach in Edmonton. So there are things that can happen, and I could see Jones as a fit in Edmonton.
Wonderful having you in to just talk about football stuff for sure, because there's a lot of things going on in the CFL that people don't see, but as far as the games go and these races now in the second half, it's going to be very exciting. That's what people would rather talk about. 90 seconds left. You're a TV guy. You know the drill on that. Just talk about Canadians in the NFL, Justin. How good of a year has it been for Canucks in the 4-down league?
Well, I'll go real quick here on Chuba Hubbard, because he's going to get the first start by a Canadian running back in the NFL in 20 years, Roddy, this weekend against the Dallas Cowboys. Your Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? So everybody should be tuned into Hubbard, because this is literally once in a generation and even more. The last guy to start an NFL game as a Canadian, Timmy Biakabatuka in 2001 with the Carolina Panthers, oddly enough. He was a first-round draft pick by the team. And then people out here, of course, will remember Ruben Myers. And I think those are the only two guys that come to mind quickly for me as Canadians who started running back in the NFL, along now with Hubbard on Sunday.
Tim Biakabatuka. Now, there's a name. For $10 million, I couldn't have told you he was the last Canadian to start a game in the National Football League. I couldn't. Good for you for having that one, Justin, and saying it right, by the way. Wow. I was working in pro football in that time, and I don't remember it. So, man, listen, we packed a lot in this last segment. I really appreciate you dangling into the bunker for this wonderful update. And enjoy the call this weekend, my man. You guys are the best duo in the business.
You bet, buddy. I miss seeing you in studio. It's weird being here, but Roddy's not here. He's out in beautiful Florida, so enjoy the time.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Justin Dunk, 3downnation.com insider and Canada West football color commentator with the Moose, Darren DuPont. Thanks to those guys. Thanks to Eddie Steele. Thanks for our entire crew. We got Panthers Stars tonight, Dolphins Colts Sunday. Then we'll see you Monday, noon Eastern, right here on Game Plus TV.
Let's make some noise.